We are diving into 6 not your standard crochet granny squares. If that sounds like something that you might be interested in, hang around with me, follow me, and grab your drink, grab your project, and come on. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here. Whether you are new or you returning, thank you for hanging out with me. If you are new and you like what I am showing you today, this is a plan that I have in place. So click subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like it. And if you want to see more content, definitely hit the subscribe and go to the little drop down menu and go to all and not personalized, because if you do all, you get every notification when I put something out. If you do personalized, you get what YouTube wants you to get. So, let me get me a drink. Let me get me my drink. Apparently I can't speak this morning. Hopefully, caffeine will help. Now, I have been awake for a hot minute, waiting on the sun to come up to provide a little bit more natural light. Because while I love the little supplemental light, it is not the best. But you hear that? It's drizzling rain. So, I figured, I might as well go ahead and do this. Alright, so I have 6 squares for you today. This started out with me just picking out 6 squares that looked interesting. And I was going to talk about them and all this other stuff. And then I thought, you know what? I don't know what made me want to try all 6, but I did. And I'm glad I did. Stay tuned for that part. Alright. You know what I forgot? I forgot. Let's see. And I can't use that. I do have my crochet hook roll right here. But unfortunately, it is not. I took out the one I needed. So hold that thought. I will be right back. Okay. I'm back. I wanted to get my crochet hook just in case that I needed it. The first square. Now, some of these squares I think would look a lot better in different colors. But, we're just going to roll with the colors that I had on hand. And they're all scrap colors. Or colors that were for other projects. Okay. So this one right here is a very beautiful little thing. And I have not finished it. That's why the center is not secure. This is called Crochet Square with Star Details by, I can't even see that right now, Tuula Maaria. I have her YouTube tutorial for this square linked below. All of these patterns will be linked below. But this right here is a very unique pattern. And basically you create these loops that you intertwine. It is not the best looking square at the moment. But let me tell you why. I probably should have used a better color than black to show up to y'all. But basically what it is, it consists of double crochets and chains. And chains are used to make the star pattern chain 9s. Alright. But if you can see, it's kind of, I'm going to stop trying to hold the center piece. It's kind of not a flat square. And it has these gappy holes. Okay? In her tutorial, she doesn't say twist them. But I think what I'm going to do to make them look more cohesive, because if you can see, I'm wearing white, so you can probably see that there is, actually, I'll do it with my hand behind it. Do you see how much of a gap that creates? Well, actually, I can see the camera through it, so I know you can see it. So what I'm going to do is the tail that I have left to weave in these pieces. Now you're going to see just how weird this thing looks when it's in its bare state, so to speak. So at the very end, you weave your tail through these chain 9s that you did on the very last row. But look, it's worked from the outside in. How unique is that? And I love trying unique patterns because you just never know. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to twist this, 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 and this one. So half of it will be twisted in that initial chain 9 and the bottom will not be. Because I want to see if it corrects the problem that I did not like. So I'm going to twist it and then feed. Basically, I wish I could show y'all. Actually, you are taking the chain 9, which I am twisting that first one so that it can, and then you're just feeding the back, the next chain 9 through the front. And then you go down, and in this case, it's my green one. I feed it through there and pull it. And then I take the white one and I feed it through there. It's very hard trying to do this on camera facing away from me. And I pull it through. And that creates, it's like the Jacob's ladder, okay? For those of you who know what that is, that's exactly what that is. I did not watch her thing entirely, and I'm sorry, I should have. It was my intentions when I try to test out a pattern to show y'all that I do it fully the way it is intended. And I try. Sometimes I don't succeed. Because I have been crocheting long enough to where I just kind of do my thing and I'm good with it. Alright, I only have 2 more to undo and redo by twisting the black, which is the first row in the pattern. It's the outer row of the completed square. Now, I like this. If this solves the problem of the gappiness and it would help even up the square, I may do more of these because I really like this pattern. I really like the possibilities depending on the color. Oh, it could be gorgeous. And these are just colors I had in my granny square tote. Yes, I have a tote dedicated to different granny squares because I put all my scraps in there. And I'm collecting enough granny squares to where when I have enough, I can make blankets for donation and whatnot. I don't need any more blankets, y'all. Any blankets that I make from here on out will be donation blankets. Alright, so now I have these top 4 twisted and the bottom 4 not twisted. So I'm going to weave this back through all of my white chain 9s so that I can close that center up again. And I'm going to talk to you while I'm doing it. Now, I know this takes a minute, so just bear with me. And for those who are impatient, you can fast forward to where you see me start to hold it back up. But for those who are not impatient, I like to do this type of testing out of different ideas and different patterns and whatnot So that will probably be something that is a normal occurrence on the channel from here on out, even when I'm busy. And what I may do is, when I find a pattern, just record a clip of testing it out. Or once I get about 5 or 6 patterns or 5 or 6 ideas, test them out, record the video then. And even if I have to put that video up on my YouTube and just not make it public until it's time to make it public, otherwise kind of a pre-recording, then I'll do that. I don't mind that kind of pre-recording. All right, let's see. Ooh, all right, okay, we might have something here. All right, I'm gonna let y'all tell me. I'm kind of conflicted about it. The top 4 are the twisted ones, and the bottom 4 are not. And let me see. I'm going to put this white piece behind it for a minute, so you can kind of, hopefully it'll show you. Alright, that right there, the top ones. And then the bottom ones. Would y'all want to do this? Now, the crochet video, in fact, I'm going to link that below. Now, I don't remember, I don't think that, I think I watched it almost to the end. I don't know, this was yesterday, y'all. And I went through 6 patterns yesterday doing this, so I don't know. But y'all will see this tomorrow. Y'all will see this on Friday. But I think I do like, I'm not sure how I would like the twist in a color that you'll see it. So I'm going to say, on this one, your miles may vary depending on your tension, the yarn, the hook that you use, but I'm definitely going to try this again because I can see that being some beautiful flower in the center, like a star flower. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm definitely doing that one again. And I may go ahead and incorporate this into one of, because this did not take me that long. Basically, you're doing double crochets from the outside in, and then you do chain 9s every few spots after you make your corners. And yes, it first, it was a little intimidating doing it outside in because I had never done that before. But I enjoyed it. And it looked like a hot mess before I started looping the chain 9. It looked like a hot mess. But have faith, trust the process. That is a thumbs up from me. All right, now the sunflower one. Sunflower Granny Square. This is on a blog. It's a free blog. It's called Crochet 365 Knit 2. Like T-O-O. Like crochet and knit 2. Anyway. This is a granny square. For a sunflower. Now I will cheat. And I will tell you. I have done this one before. It's beautiful. I love it. I have made... This is the sunflower square I made that cardie, that hexie cardie out of. Which I still have if anybody wants it. I think what I'm going to do is put all of my hexie cardies on the website at very cheap prices. Because I don't wear cardigans. Well, I don't need acrylic cardigans down here in the South. Let me explain that situation. This right here, now these colors, this is a red heart, brown, like a chocolate, I think, I can't remember. This is Buff. This is a Karen. It's called Sunflower of all things. This is Hunter Green in Red Heart, and this is White in Red Heart. And the thing I love about this square is, look, it's universal. You can go either which way. Now, yes, you can look at your stitches and tell which side is which, but that's the fun part. And I didn't weave in my ends on others, but I did weave in this one. I wove in that one, not that one. So 3 I did weave in the ends, and 3 I didn't. Yep. I rocked it like that. I'm so thirsty, y'all. After I finish that, I might have to get me a hydrate and see if that can kind of give me everything. Because I don't have time today. We have a busy schedule. Alright, so now, I have shown you the star. The one with the star detail. I've shown you the granny stitch. I'm trying to do it in order that I have it listed on my Samsung notepad. I had to send it to myself. Let me tell you, that was a whole ordeal. Y'all know me and whatchamacallit. Alright, so this one is called Puffs. Hold on. Let me get this thing out. Puffs and Hugs. Granny Square. Now, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. And as you can see in the image that I'm showing beside me, actually, I'm not really sure. I have screenshots that I'm sending to my son to edit, because y'all, I'm not there yet with putting images on my editing. So this is definitely getting sent to my son. But in the picture, it has, she's using a gradient yarn, and I used Red Heart Retro because I had a hat that I had made on my Centro that I didn't really like. It had some drop stitches, so I was just working off of it. And unfortunately, it turned out green. It did not, it didn't get any of the beautiful rainbow color, the retros. This one, I love how it turned out. The pattern is very well written. And the original site that was linked to this was no longer there. So I found the site that I did put down below so that y'all would have a pattern. It was easy enough to follow the pattern. Now, I will tell you this. And it's so funny because when I was showing my daughter-in-law this yesterday after our walk, she's like, I hate puff stitches. I'm like, well, that's kind of strong. I can take puff stitches or I can leave them. It depends on the project. This is beautiful. And I wouldn't mind do it again. But I do not like these puff stitches. It slows me down. Okay. It slows me down a lot. And I'm slower post-concussion, and now that I've got the use of the left side of my body again, I'm slower than I used to be. And this slowed me down so much. This took me probably twice as long as it would take anybody else. And maybe if the colors had transitioned all the way, I could have kept going. There was nobody dictating how big my square got to be. So I could do bigger squares. And I may still choose to do that. So this one gets a thumbs up in pattern. And for my execution, as far as being able to be quick about it. Now, if you love puff stitches, honey, this is your pattern. And then it has front post double crochets on each side of the puff stitches, which for me, it kind of is hidden. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I do. I love the look of that square. So maybe I will try it in a bigger version. So there's 3 that are a definite. I will definitely do this one again. I'm always going to do that one. And see, this one has puff stitches too. But no, this one isn't. Yeah, this has puff stitches in the buff. But not so many, and I can kind of get them through them pretty quick. This one is double crochets, front post doubles, then 2 puff stitches. And so I have to kind of do, when I'm doing this one, it's just an entire round. So I can get that done and get it over with. So this one is, it's a maybe. Will I do it again? It's a maybe. All right. Definitely will do again. Definitely will do again. All right. Number 4. Are we ready? Granny spike stitch. All right. Let me tell you something. The person who wrote this, I have it linked down below. I can read a pattern. I have done granny spiked my, I've done a, granny spiked my blanket or something. I've done spiked granny stitch before, so I didn't have a problem with it. If you want help with this, stay tuned to the end of the video, because I will go into a little bit more in depth if you've never done the granny spike stitch. But let me simplify it for you real easy. Actually, I'm going to simplify it for you, and I'll decide at the end if I want to go into more detail. This right here. And yes, I used it because, you know, hello, I already had colors out. You'll notice the very last pattern, I used the rest of that retro. Yeah. Which that was a good call because it, oh, beautiful. Anyway, this right here, the pattern, and I don't know if it's her writing style or if it's because English is not her first language. I don't know. The pattern leaves a lot to be desired. It is a free pattern. The link is linked down below. But I will tell you this.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel
What the heck
to help
is
bring
that?
back the $1 slice. Copilot runs the numbers so Hank can see which extras make the dollar slice.
Yeah, so
Thank you. Hank makes the pizza. Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
That's why I don't like going on different blogs, because it has all the noisy ads. Alright. So anyway, and that's this website. So it does have ads on it. I mean, all of these have ads on it, but that one was a video. Take your regular granny square. You know how to build a granny square, right? If you don't, there are a ton of videos. If you need me to walk you through it, message me, send me an email, and I will send you pictures of what to do where this pattern went wrong. But basically, it is a traditional granny square. The only thing is you're spiking 1 double crochet in these. Now, you don't do any in the brown, so I can really show you that. In the sunflower color, that's where she messes up really bad. But basically what you do is when you do your center, cluster, you do a double crochet down into the previous one. Look. Okay, that's how you do that. And then you do your third double crochet in that cluster. Then you do your little regular corner, come around here, and do the same thing. Double crochet down to the previous cluster, and then back to your normal double crochet. I'm hoping that is showing through on the video. It's super easy, and I don't know how it got so mangled. I don't know. This pattern says it was May 20th, 2026, which was a week ago. Oh, duh. I should have known that. But anyway, so it's a super easy pattern, and this is the one I wish I had tried in a different color, because the example picture is pastels and it's beautiful, and I will probably go back and do that. I did a granny spiked. Oh, it was granny spiked my ripple. That's what it was, because it was a ripple blanket, and I did the granny spike stitch. So it would be really, really fun. I lean toward squares during the summer when I'm doing my blanket making, because I don't want a heavy blanket on me. And these are portable. Very easy, very portable. A lot of people don't like sewing them in on the tail end of it, but I don't mind so much. Now, basically, where she messed up, let me see if I can scroll down. Excuse me. I had that carbonation got me. Ooh! Here's a beautiful rainbow version. Let me show y'all that. Ugh, I might have to use that. Hold on. I'm trying to unplug my laptop. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? That's pretty. Y'all know me and my rainbows. Okay, so I might try that. Oop. I like that color. And you know what? Honestly, I could use retro for that. And so I would just, there's so many possibilities to that. Okay, so barring the bad pattern writing, and like I said, I don't think it's her fault. And she's ranking this as intermediate. Would y'all agree that the spike stitch is intermediate? I think it's more easy or beginner, because you're not changing the basic foundation that this is a granny stitch, granny square. You're just taking one of the double crochets, going down into the previous cluster, bringing up a very loose loop, and that's the extent of the change of that. But let me give you an example. So what she says in round 1, magic circle, chain 4. No. But this is what she says. In a magic circle, chain 4, and then she has parentheses, double crochet 3, chain 1, parentheses, 3 times. So that tells me it says double crochet 3, chain 1, 3 times. Okay, so she should have said 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 times. Because let me tell you, I read that wrong, and that could have been me yesterday. Because reading it this way, but I went into this trying to do exactly the way sorry, that got interrupted. Technical difficulties. I finished recording that video, and it wasn't recording. So, I did just look back through where I was. Now, before the interruption, I was telling you, with this pattern. Let me go back to it. I think I just read the instructions. I was putting too much thought into it yesterday. I don't know. But it's not that hard of a stitch. If you do need any help with this, come to me, message me, whatever you want. I don't think I'm going to go in depth at the end of the video. Actually, I know I'm not, because I didn't a minute ago when I tried to finish recording this video. When I thought I was finishing recording this video. But it is it's a straightforward stitch. Okay? And I do love that rainbow color. So, I'm definitely going to do this one again. Alright, now I had these in order. Then I finished my video and I put it to the side, only to find out that I was not recording. Alright, that one. Sunflower. Then this one. Okay. And I'm definitely going to do this again in different colors. Alright. Okay, number 5. And I'm going to go back to this. And it is the Triangle by Lucy at Attic 24. Now, this one... hold on. When I realized this, I went and got me some more drink. Because that caffeine is great and all, but I don't need another one. This is just a plain strawberry and kiwi. That's not satisfying my thirst. So I'm hoping this one will. Alright. Brief drink interlude. The Triangle. Now, yes, I did not weave in these ends, but that's okay. I did not steam block this either, like Lucy recommends. But I do like it. Now, if it was steam blocked, it would probably lay flat and all gorgeous and pretty, and the corners would be nice and sharp. And I did not do this yesterday. But I do love it. And yes, forgive the color, because I was just using the scrap ones that I had in my bag. I love the pattern. I love the pattern. Simple, straightforward. Plenty of pictures. Plenty of pictures. So I would highly recommend this pattern if you want to do triangles. Personally, I don't know if I'll do them. You can do... The thing about these triangles is you can do them and you can make the bunting like she has it for the pattern, or you can literally, you can make triangle hexagons with different color variations. Ooh, that would be so pretty. In a color, try that again. In a gradient yarn, that like the retro or any of the stripes, you could literally start in the middle and go out and then do the next one. And oh, that would look so pretty. And sew them together as a hexagon. And then just do like maybe 5 or 6 hexagon motifs with just the triangles, depending on how big your blanket you wanted to be. Oh, that would be gorgeous. That would be absolutely gorgeous. Or you could do, like, instead of the hexagon, you could do them in rows. Like, you could do the triangle this way, and then the next triangle upside down, and then the next one correct. So you had a long row. You could do that with a gradient yarn, too. Ooh. See, I love the yarn to do the work, so I don't have all this. I don't like to weave in ends. I do it, but I don't like to. Okay, I don't think any of us like to. Well, no, I take that back. Oh, y'all forgive my hair. I took a shower like 20 minutes before I went to bed last night. I soaked my pillow with my hair because I was too tired. I was done. So yeah, my hair is a little crazy today. But, highly recommend. Though I don't know if I'll do it again myself. I I might surprise myself. I might decide, because y'all know how I like doing the two-tone colors. Like I did the Red Heart Retro with white on that mosaic blanket, or the interlocking crochet blanket. And then I did Fruity Stripes, which kind of gives me a sunsetty look. Oh, that would be gorgeous in this kind of, ooh. All right, all right. All this is coming to me. Now, number 6. The piece that I loved the most. Now, I have 3 favorites. I'll show y'all that at the end here. I apologize. Something's in my throat. This is the, and yes, I've done corner to corner, but this is. It's Hooked by Robin, corner to corner, moss stitch square. I've done moss stitch. I've done corner to corner moss stitch. I don't do a lot of it simply because it is, I like a frog in my throat or something. It is, probably because I've already recorded this video in its entirety, and now I'm having to do it again. And I feel like I'm rushed because my daughter-in-law is on her way up here so we can do our walk, and then I have to get my husband up to take him to his doctor's appointment. So, ooh! But that's okay. I'm having fun with you first. Now, this corner to corner moss stitch. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't like the moss stitch generally because the way I've done it is in blankets. I've done side to side moss stitch and I've done corner to corner. Though I've not used Robin's pattern before today. I just knew how to do the moss stitch. And I tried it in a corner to corner, which I like her corner to corner because it gives me the little holes. Let me show y'all. Oh. Y'all know how I was talking about with the puff stitch square that I used the retro that I had made a hat on with the Centro and never finished it because I didn't like it. This is the rest of it. Look at that beautiful thing in all its glory. Yes, the square's not quite square, but it would be if I blocked it or steam blocked it or whatnot. But look at that. Look at all of that beauty. Part of it is the yarn. Most of it is the yarn. But I do love how Robin's pattern, I didn't get these on my corner to corner when I did the blanket. But I didn't have a pattern. I was just figuring it out as I went, which is very common for me. I started crocheting and knitting pretty much before I started reading patterns. Now, granted, the knitting thing was easier. I was just doing blankets and, stuff like that. I did, the cage at the SPCA and the county shelter and all. I would do cage mats. So I just knit them and, to the size I needed. But anyway, this right here. If I had gone ahead with this square, I would have, because this is the beginning of this square and this is the end of this one. So I would have gotten there. I would have. But I'm glad I didn't go bigger with this so that I could do this. Now, this is twice as big. You could do these as big as you want or as small as you want. Okay? And it's reversible. That's the lovely thing about moss stitch. It is totally reversible. But that is so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do wish it was a little bit more square. And I will be doing more of these in the retro. So I will put them, because I have a pegboard to put squares on to, make sure that they stay square. And I'll do that. Now, this is a free pattern. All of these patterns are free. I probably should have said that at the very beginning of the video, but they're all free. She does have a tutorial on YouTube, or she does have a ad-free PDF. I don't know how much that is. I did not check it out, but go to her website that I have linked below, and you'll be able to find it. I love this pattern. She wrote it beautifully. I know she did not break the mold and invent anything new, but she put it in such great terms, and I love how she does the ends. Now hers, I think she only went up to 11 because you need an odd number of rows before you start decreasing so that you can do the moss stitch border. And she did a join as you go method. I've not done that because I've only made one square, but I probably will. Okay. I think this is just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Favorites. I'm going to show you my 3 favorite ones. And I want you to tell me your 3 or your favorite ones. It doesn't have to be 3. It could only be 1. But you know me, I'm not going to pick just one. These 3 are my favorites. Right here. The one with the star that you work inside out or outside in. The spiked granny stitch and the moss corner to corner. Oops. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to undo this again and twist these. Or I might just leave this as an example. And yes, I actually use stitch markers. She recommended, because this was a video tutorial, I did not see a, she may have had a written version, but I don't know. I did use the tutorial on her YouTube. She said she recommends putting a stitch marker every 20 stitches. I did. I didn't need to, but I was trying to follow these patterns exactly. Didn't succeed all the time, but you know. Especially with this one right here. The way her pattern style, it just wasn't clicking, and I still have issues. You know, I have issues. But I loved the 3. Now, this has got to be, if I had to pick one, this would probably be my favorite. And that's very unusual for me. I know that probably is not really all that like, ooh. Lynn said the moss stitch was her favorite. But for me to admit that, because I'm not a real big fan of moss stitch or heavy single crochet blankets or patterns and stuff, but this one I fell in love with. Even though it did take me a minute. Y'all, I was watching I was streaming one of the shows. It was the last thing he told me on Apple TV, because I have my son's Apple TV account. And let me tell you. I was cooking Tuscan chicken in my Instant Pot, and I forgot about it. But thankfully, it was a natural release. And usually on my Tuscan chicken, I natural release it for about 35 minutes. That gets the pasta nice. We don't like al dente, so I like the pasta a little softer than al dente. And 35 minutes natural release is usually. Last night my husband walks through and I'm working on the border to this, and he's like, honey, when is that going to be ready in there? And I was like, oh, I forgot. So I ran in there, and the timer on the natural release said 52 minutes. So I got lost in this and watching the show. And I can see me doing a lot of these. And I think what would be really cool is just continue the retro stripes, the Red Heart retro stripes, and can just do multiple ones. And I may, y'all know I've said this many times on my channel. I like to try different join-as-you-go methods. I don't know if Robin's is any different than anybody else's, but I'm going to try it, okay? I'm going to try it. Now, I want your opinion on something. This kind of video is what I wanted to do at the very beginning of the year. I wanted to get different patterns and try them out. Especially like if I was trying a new yarn, or I wanted to see how a new yarn, a yarn I purchased worked up. It's not quite like Glenda does on I know her channel, y'all. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Glenda, Grandma. Oh Jesus, hold on. I know her name just as well as I know my own. Oh shush. Crochet Grandma. Is that what it is? Alright, this is frustrating me. Is it Creative Grandma? Yes. Okay. Glenda, Creative Grandma. But y'all knew who I meant. My mind just could not get her name out. So she does, you know, like she tests yarn and stuff, and I didn't want to copy that. But if I have stitches and patterns that I do want to test out, why not use that? The idea was to test out different patterns. And then I thought, well, I could incorporate that with, you know, new yarns that I'm trying. Or I could just take and try different patterns with different yarns and see how well that happens. I don't know. But if you would like to see me to continue doing these kind of samples, let me know. That was what I was talking about back in December and January about, you know, trying to try new things for the channel. This is what I was talking about. And I would, if it's going to be well received, I would love to do it. But if y'all aren't interested, I don't want to waste our time, yours or mine. So let me know down below. Okay, that's it for yarn. There's a couple things I got going on. First, I wanted to, when I inserted this picture right here, I realized I took that picture to show my daughter-in-law, and I realized there's no size comparison in that video, right? Those are some big zucchinis, but you really can't tell that by looking at that photo. This is the biggest one. Remember how in my last video I was saying that it was about 13 inches? And from here to here, it is exactly 13 inches. And it's like 13 and a half. I mean, 14, almost 14 and a half with that little puppy. But this is 13 inches. That is a big zucchini. And it's about 3.5 inches around. In that same picture, this is my smallest zucchini. Now, I do really need to go out there and pick the ones that are on the plants now, because they're about the size that I would want them. But again, I'm crunched for time. It might have to wait till we get back from Columbia, because today's my husband's doctor's visit, which is a monthly thing. But look how big those puppies are. They're huge. And I was like, how can I show them? But I did forget to bring it in on the last video. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring it in here. Like I have any more room on my table, y'all. And I have to get all this done. Wow. We are 2 days away. Now, I'm recording this Thursday. You'll see it. I'm recording this on the 28th. You'll see it on the 29th. 2 days left of June. I mean, 2 days left of May before we get into June. That is insane, y'all. May and June are super busy for me, or for my family, because we have Mother's Day, my great-nephew's new birthday, my grandson's birthday, my husband's birthday. All of that is in May, between mid-May and end of May. Yep. Then In June, we have our anniversary, Father's Day, and our anniversary is mid-June. Actually, our anniversary is June 15th. So sometimes Father's Day hits before, sometimes it hits during. There has been years to where Father's Day has hit our anniversary. And I think that was last year, maybe, or the year before. Because like I told my husband and my father-in-law, y'all's day takes precedence over our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, because we can celebrate that on a day that is not Father's Day, right? And, you know, when my son became a father, yeah. So, Father's Day takes precedence. But anyway, it's Father's Day, my wedding anniversary, my birthday. There's something else in June. What am I forgetting? So, no, that's right. Okay. So, there used to be 3 in May and 3 in June. Now there's 4 in May, counting my great nephew. And my next great nephew will be in July. So then I will have July 4th, my daughter-in-law's birthday, and then my other great nephew's birthday. Ha! Lots of birthdays. So, I can't believe we're almost in June, y'all. Cheesy Pete and Camoli. Alright. I'm going to get off here. I've got a lot to do, and I've had to record the second half of this video twice. So, on that note, if you do want to see more of this, let me know. Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, it took me an entire day to do these 6 samples, but that's okay. If I know that this is something that y'all want, this was a trial run. I know I've done square videos before, but I wanted to see how I liked it. Not just showing you patterns. I've done that. I wanted to show you patterns and test out to see if they're good patterns, what the block will look like, and for what it's worth, my opinion on it, you know. And if I can find, if you do want to see any of these, do you really want to try, you want me to try the really outlandish ones? Like the ones that are very intermediate to advanced? Or would you like me to stay on the, you know what I could do? To give a wide range? Because I think I did a pretty good span of variations on skill levels on this. So y'all tell me, you know. Even if it's, ooh, I got a good idea. If y'all like this, I have an idea. If y'all want me to do this, there's something that I'm going to do to make this easier. So tell me if you like it or not, if you want more of it. With that, I hope you have the best day that you can have today. If you can find one little speck of joy, find it, grab it, hold on to it. And poor Heather. When I said that I just now got, I don't know what it is with YouTube. It's not showing me all my comments. If I don't see it that day that you leave the comments, sometimes it gets lost. But I just read Heather's comment, and her house got hit by lightning. Well, her parents' house got hit by lightning, and you know, she's their caregiver. But I can say this because she put it in the public comments, so I'm not telling anybody's business. But she literally said it scared her so bad. The lightning scared all the joy out of all of her joy that she had stored up out of her. But all joking aside, there is always something in every day, even the worst possible day ever. There's that little speck of joy. And sometimes you have to hunt for it. Sometimes it's like right there in your face. Regardless, grab it, hold on to it. Store it up. Hopefully a lightning strike won't scare it out of you. On that note, I'm getting off here. I will see you Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be happy. And I'll see you then. Bye.